Hello friends, welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be setting up the month of October in my catch-all horizontal planner. We'll decorate all the monthly pages in a colorful autumn theme, so come plan with me. And I've got this washi tape here all ready to go, as well as some wall washi paper that I may use, some mild liners for some highlighting and added color, this Happy Planner sticker book, and these Planny Things sticker books, which I'll pull from. Okay, you guys, let's start off with the monthly spread this time around. I'll go ahead and lay down some wax paper to get things started and work out how the theme is going to come together. I'll be doing this spread, my month overview spread, and my single page monthly at the back, all in this one video. So you'll get to see how I theme out the entire month's worth of pages. So I already grabbed out these copper quotes from the Happy Planner sticker book. I think that was the seasonal fall sticker book. And I'm going to use that as well as some of these pumpkins and other kind of fall litter items, along with some other leaves and things from an older Planny Things sticker book. So the main book I'll be pulling from is Cozy Autumn, and I think the other one is maybe Autumn Vibes, which came out last year. So just starting to group together some items here in the corner, doing a bit of a collage idea. I got this wall washi from Amazon in a set of 4. It's got some nice ones in there, but this, I would say, this kind of vintage script look has really come in handy during these fall months. It's just a really timeless look and works well with the fall colors. I'm going to try to bring some of that in here into the corner. Layer that up with a quote and maybe a couple of stickers. We'll see. And then we'll match it up here in the top corner and just create a little bit of repetition there. I think I want to use some of these larger items here in the empty days down at the bottom of the month. Just take up as much of that space for decor as I can, since I will need basically all of the boxes to be free for writing in the memory a day, which is what I normally use this spread for. I pretty much write a little synopsis of my day just so that I can remember what I did, and it takes up pretty much the whole box. I don't want to put anything in there that's really going to hinder my writing space, so I'm going to contain all of the decor either into the sidebar, header, or this kind of footer area here on the right where there's some empty days from the month. I'm bringing in a few items now already down in the bottom corner, and also trying to add in maybe some washi here as well to add a little bit more flat color and tie the spread together. I got some orange grid washi from Planny Thing, and then the tan toned washi came in a set I got from Amazon during my Amazon haul just this past summer. I'm going to try to match those two up, kind of making those the primary colors of the spread, even though there's a lot of fall variations of colors in here. I think it's good to have some anchoring colors, especially when you have a lot of different items with varying colors, just to tie it all together. So I'm just working on how to collage these together and make it feel good to me. Sometimes I work things a lot just until it feels right, or as good as I am willing to accept in some cases. So you'll see me tweak a lot of things, which is really why I use this wax paper as a base, so that I can get in there and move things around until I'm really happy with the way things turn out. So like you can see here, I'm bringing in some items, varying the leaves and just kind of putting those in for color and variety in and around the bigger items. I'm in the Autumn Vibes sticker book from before because it had just some leaves that I didn't use in a previous spread that I thought were a good matchup for this and would help fill out some of these clusters. So that's why I'm pulling those in. Styling's not a perfect match, but it's pretty close as far as like a watercolor look. So I think they match up well together and kind of create a seamless vibe when combined. I also wasn't really loving the layering of the quote with the wall washi look, so I'm just going to put those to the side for now and kind of clean up the background behind those quotes, maybe finding another place to put in those corners in a minute. Also tweaking which leaves I'm using where and how I'm spreading out the color. A lot of like deep purple tones in some of these leaves along with some yellow tones. So since those aren't really the major colors of the spread, I'm trying to spread them around in each cluster. So I have a little bit in each and you get that repetition in that way as opposed to trying to bring in additional colors for the main vibe of the spread. Bringing in just some more leaves, trying things out, trying not to make things be too overwhelming. It's a tricky business, I will say, with such small decor. It's why I really love large decor. You can really bring in a few items and make an impact versus small decor. You really have to be just strategic about placement and color and just how they're relating to each other in order to make it work without just feeling like a big ball of clutter. So it does take a little bit longer for me to work these kind of spreads, but in the end, they usually turn out pretty good if I can get the colors and everything worked out. I'm also bringing in some colorful boxes from the Planning Things sticker book for this sidebar. It's where I will track my TV watched and my books read. That's what's going to go over there. And then behind that, I've brought back in the wall washi in the opposite corners. I'm just going to reposition it kind of at an angle so that it covers the full corner, because the way I ripped it, it wasn't made for those particular corners, so it's kind of hard to rework it so it fits the space. So I'm just going to have to take a loss on a little bit of the excess there to make it fit. And now I'm going to try out a few different washis from my stash that I pulled and see how I like the look. I got this nice polka dotted one that's got a kind of coral orange tone, which I like, but it's a little light for the spread. You can barely see it. So I think I'll go back to the orange grid washi, pull that in. I'm trying to spread it around here in the boxes, but I don't know. I don't want to layer it up too much. And the balance of it is, I'm not real happy with. So I'm trying a few different positions, maybe layering it with some other washis, but not real sure about it just yet. Also going into that Happy Planner sticker book, looking for anything like colorful boxes or something that I can use over the entire month box to bring in some color, but didn't really find anything that was fitting the bill. So I put that back away, and then I also moved the washi tape to the side and put one of them up at the top, which I like the balance a little better, creating that nice triangular relationship between the three orange washi areas. That always tends to feel a little bit better, a little bit more balanced. I'm also bringing in some small colorful boxes here in the month boxes. Hopefully I'll have a memory to put in to kind of highlight on those days. I really just picked random days to put those boxes in. So we'll see how it all works out as the month progresses, but I really just put them in more for balance than anything else. So now we're going to move on to putting things onto the page, and I'm going to start off by whiting out some areas, including the 2024 behind the wall washi and the bottom boxes in entirety so that I have a nice clean area for the decor. And I've dropped in that wall washi corner and trimmed it out. Now drop in these colorful boxes Again, kind of focusing in more on the orange and the tan tones for this color scheme. Looking at it now, I probably should have pulled a tan box for the sidebar instead of that burgundy red, but I think it works in the end. However, if I was really trying to go strong with that color scheme, I probably should have done that to, again, reiterate my two-toned color that I'm working with, two-toned color scheme. So I've dropped in the sidebar now, and we'll do some trimming in preparation for moving over the main event here on the bottom. And here I'm going to try to roll it off just to make my life a little easier. However, I was having trouble lining up the washi tape at the angle that I was starting with, so I tried upside down and I couldn't quite see what I needed to see, so I ended up going from the side. That went sort of smooth, except for at the very end, kind of slid around, so I had to replace those leaves, but on a whole, it turned out pretty well. And we'll trim out any overlap here as well. Use any pieces that I can, and just discard any extra sticker that I can't. I also felt like this could use one more kind of visual element here in the corner. So I'm going to try maybe a few different items, see what looks good. I'm going to put in those purple leaves, kind of like that. But let's try a few different other options to beef it up. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just stick with the purple leaves for now and move on to the next spread, which is my monthly overview. So I'll go ahead and tape that down and try and get this layering started here in the corner, working with the washi tape and of course that wall washi. Now that I've got an idea of how the theme's going to go, you can just basically do this similar clustering of things using those same elements. So I've got the washi tape, which I'm going to actually move into the internal corner so that I can do the outer corners with the wall washi here. And I already stripped off a little area of it, and we'll place those in. Hopefully we can make this look pretty good. And I'm trying to straighten those ones out a little bit. I think, yeah, I like them a little better straight on than I did at an angle. We'll bring a little more washi here into the actual month days where there's some empty space. I'll put that in, start dropping in some of the decor, and then also a quote or two. I basically was looking for quotes that all kind of match in vibe and color for all of the pages. So I had 4 that I thought were a good match for each other, and was going to use that second one in the corner and then realized I should probably save that for the back page. So we're going to try and bring in maybe this box here, which has copper foiling and a quote as well about fall, but I know it is kind of hard to see on camera. It does bring in a nice red element, which I like, tying in a little bit more of that burgundy or deeper red tones from some of the stickers. So we'll try with that. It does help bring in the use of the red box on the previous spread in the sidebar as like a highlight color. Now I'm just working in the decor, trying to find homes for things that feel at the right scale. That's kind of a thing I'm thinking about as I'm laying in the stickers. Some of these stickers are like larger elements, like a pumpkin, and if you put that next to a giant acorn, that might not be the right fit because obviously the acorn should be much smaller than the pumpkin, that kind of thing. So I'm just feeling things out, what feel proportional to each other in each of the clusters, and trying to group those items together. Also trying to find balance in each of the clusters on their own as far as what feels heavier in certain areas. So tweaking a lot of things, moving things around till I get a good balance going. And things are starting to come together. It's a little bit tougher with the leaves, just finding the right amount of detail, because most of them are either fairly large leaves or fairly detailed leaves. So just finding the right fit for where things should go in each situation has been a little bit tricky, but we will do our best to get it all feeling cohesive here. And I'll drop in this acorn here in the corner. I'd like to put another one there, but I don't think it's going to fit for balance reasons. Thought I'd try another leaf kind of to help anchor the acorn with, but I don't know. Just a little bit awkward. And then I finally decided on a pumpkin that was facing kind of upwards. I think that's a good fit for this, since it doesn't really go as well with the other clusters where the pumpkins are laying on the ground. So I'll put that in the corner, bring in a little bit more of the orange there. Also bringing in a little bit more of the tan washi as a layering piece with the orange washi, and then a little bit more of that orange washi in the top corner to reiterate that color scheme a bit with the orange and tan. All right, so we're going to move things over, starting with this bottom corner. Going to rework the positioning of the leaves and the box a little bit, just kind of shifting it in away from the chart. On this layout, in case you're new to my channel, I have this layout in my shop as a standalone item if you are interested in it. However, it's not quite as customized as you're seeing here. The chart at the bottom on the right and the numbering, as well as the header about social stats, is not included. That's a customization I added for myself, and could easily do that for you if that's what you're really attracted to in this spread. But if you just want a nice overview with some habit trackers, long checklist, some empty space at the bottom on the right, and a nice monthly layout that you can number yourself, that is available in my shop. Do check the description below if you want a direct link, or you can just search my shop for month overview and it should pop up. So anyway, I've got that in. I've basically moved over all the other elements, and I'm now finally dropping in this fall quote to finish things off. Kind of cleaning up some of the little items in and around things to tidy things up. And then I'll also drop in my highlights for each of my stat tracking from Instagram and YouTube. As well as highlight a couple of these habit tracker lines, just spreading around a little bit more of that color in and throughout the spread. This is a very functional spread for me, obviously, so just adding in color where I can is a nice added engagement item for the look and the feel of the pages. Just going to go ahead and trim off any excess paper or sticker and wrap up this with a little bit more highlighting here in my chart. And I think that's going to pretty much do it for this page, although I did notice that this box was set crookedly on the corner, so I'm just going to adjust that real quick before we move on to the last page, which is my single page monthly. And on this page is where I actually do all of the scheduling for the month. So this is my monthly calendar, if you will. any appointments, events, this is where I'll put that down so that I can have that at a glance as needed. So I'll just quickly drop in some more of the wall washi in the one corner. Since it's a single page, I'm pretty much going to limit the decor to this bottom area. Try to work in the elements so that it's not hindering the usability of the spread once again. Just grabbing a few different items, trying things out. Do like this maple leaf a lot. I need to find a good home for it. I'm going to move up this quote a bit so that I have more space. Maybe can attach it to the leaf itself. Have it kind of coming off the L, which I liked that. Did want to add a bit more of the leaves. Just trying to find good homes for things. It's a bit on the struggle bus as far as what type of decor I wanted in this area. Try a bunch of different things. I actually wasn't sure if this was an apple or a pumpkin at first, but I think it's an apple. So that just gives you like a baseline scale of things. So when I'm putting in the leaves and what have you, they can be a little bit larger since apples are normally a bit smaller, that kind of thing. So again, thinking about scale and balance as well with the decor. And I liked these wooden boxes of pumpkins, but the pumpkins were so tiny in there, it wasn't really a good fit. So I tried to trim one out and maybe layer it with another pumpkin. That one wasn't quite the fit I wanted either. I'll try it, but yeah, I just didn't like how that was going. And then thought maybe I'd bring in some colorful boxes, but again, just wasn't happy with how this was going in the end. I realized I wanted to bring in some burgundy to match up with the other spreads. I had that kind of red purple tone in there. So I had these two stickers that were really branchy looking and decided to combine them. I'm just adding those two together to make it a little bit more substantial. I'm just seeing if there's anything else here that I want to bring in to finish things off. This feels a little incomplete. And I think I'll just drop in this acorn at the bottom, take off the apple, clean it up a little, and kind of center the decor here in the middle instead of spreading it out. So we'll do that. We'll trim off any excess here. Save any pieces that I can. And of course, continue to fiddle a little bit, but I think we're going to stick with what we've got there. So lastly, I'm just going to highlight one of the days for an upcoming birthday. And that's pretty much it, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, to go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!